very quickly there, I've just designed a basic system and we've entered it into the filter tab, because the filter tab is what ultimately MetaStock is going to use to scan the market, and it's going to find stocks that only exhibit that criteria. Again, it's black or it's white. It's either yes or no. That's the brilliance about the Explorer in MetaStock. We'll have a look at the columns just before we run this test. Now, columns are used to rank the results or rank the stocks that make it through to the results page. Okay, and it'll become much clearer once we actually run an exploration and you can see. But let's say using column A, if we wanted to rank the stocks via their closing price or something like that, we could enter the close, and just where you can see we can actually enter in the column name as well and say close, and you've got 6 different columns to do that. So you can have whatever criteria you like, and it's going to allow you to rank the stocks that make it through to the results page using these columns here. Okay? So let's just before we run this one, we'll actually hit the options button. Now this is extremely important, okay? The first thing, under the options button you can see we can actually set the exploration date. Now 9 times out of 10 you're going to have it on the most recent date, aren't you? But you also have the ability to set a specific date. So if you like and you're doing some back testing or something like that and you want to know which stocks would have been brought up by your Explorer, you can use the specific date to choose that. We'll run it on the most recent data, and probably even more important underneath that we've got the exploration periodicity. Now this is probably again one of the most frequent questions I get asked when someone receives an error within their exploration code or something like that. A lot of the time, or an error in the results page, it's because they haven't selected the correct periodicity, and you need to know that, because if we look at this example here, even just looking at this moving average here, we've got the moving average of a 21 period. Okay, that's 21 periods. Now, is that 21 days? Is that 21 weeks? You need to make sure you define that up front. We're going to leave this one on daily, and right down the bottom also we have an ability to check or uncheck the use filter. Now what that's going to do, obviously if we use the filter, what's that going to do? It's going to filter out stocks that don't exhibit that criteria. Does that make sense? Whereas if we unchecked that, all the stocks that are run are going to appear in the results page, and you could rank it via the columns, which you'll see later on in an Explorer that Stuart will show you. It actually can be useful, but for this particular example, we'll leave the filter checked, okay, because we want to use the filter. So we'll hit cancel there. Now we'll hit OK, and we're actually going to run this Explorer and see how it works.